Oh my God. I wish it was any other colour than black.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an orange and a green one, haven't you?
Yeah, that's going to be better. So starting this particular project from home this time because I'm being sponsored by a company called MaxKGo. Don't know if you've heard of them. I hadn't heard of them. They do a few different products, but what I was interested in was their speed controllers. So they sent me a 120 amp and a 200 amp speed controller for this project. I'm using their 120 amp 5-12S speed controller, and they said, well, if we send you these things, what could you demonstrate these speed controllers with? And I said, well, initially, how about I go for something pretty fast that does 150 to nearly 200 miles an hour, if not more, and that it's 3D printed, because I like a little bit of a challenge with the projects that I do if I'm going to put time into them. I don't want to do projects really that have been done by other folks in a big way. So this is kind of going to be budget, high speed, and 3D printed, those three things. So been doing a lot of 3D printing recently, and I had a bit of a think about what I could do, and I proposed to them that I did a high speed model called the Psy-Cho, which is a 90mm EDF fast jet designed by PTI Kyle on Cults 3D. If you haven't come across him, probably not unless you do 3D printing, but PTI Kyle does lots of different designs and seems to knock them up in no time. I'm doing a few projects, seem to have several projects running in parallel at the moment, and I'm starting another because I'm just a glutton for starting things and taking a little while to finish them. But this one's going to be rapid because MaxKGo want to see results with their speed controllers. So what did I choose? This Psy-Cho 90mm EDF jet. Now I've printed out all the components. Really, Kyle's designs I aimed at lightweight PLA filament. Now that's great, but the downside with lightweight PLA, particularly in the summer, which is just around the corner, spring has just arrived here in England, is that it does not fare so well in high temperatures outdoors in direct sunlight. So you can invest all of that time in a project, accidentally leave your model that you've invested hours and days and months building out in the sun, and it warps and distorts in the sunlight because lightweight PLA does not like sunlight and temperature. So I've started using lightweight ASA, totally different kettle of fish with ASA. It has no problem with the heat and sunlight at all. The downside is that it comes in a lot less colours, so natural colour and black, or this very dark grey, and that applies to Bamboo Labs and Colourfab. This is Colourfab lightweight ASA. The other downside of it is that it has to be printed in a chamber. That is for two reasons. First reason is that when you print with it, it gives off toxic gases that you do not want to inhale because it will give you, well, respiratory problems in the long term, and even in the short term it may cause coughs and snivels and whatever. So it's important that you print it either outside, which isn't very practical in the weather we have here in England, with it day to day being very different, but it has to be printed in a chamber, and that chamber has to be ventilated to the outside. So I use a few Bamboo Lab H2S printers, which are chambered printers, heated chamber. And that's the other thing as well. The chamber has to be heated. I'm not sure everybody will agree with me on that. But for certainly the components I'm printing here, the chamber has to be at kind of 65 degrees for it to print these components nicely. When I did not print with the chamber heated, the bottom or the first two layers would warp. And it's really important that these components do have a very flat bottom, very first flat few layers, so that when you glue these together, they flush with one another. Because if you don't do that, you end up with curves and gaps, and that's the worst thing. You end up having to fill it, and then you'd have to fill it, sand it, paint it. And I don't want to do that. I want this to be a really quick project to put together. So I printed all of these components from the PTI Kyle design off Colts 3D. What other components am I using? Well, I'm using the MaxKGo 120 amp, and I'm going to be running this 8S. I'm going to be using, I think at the moment, this 90mm PowerFun fan 8S from George at 4Max, although I might try the FMS one. It's kind of double the price. And Kyle's mount does not exactly fit the PowerFun, but it does the FMS, so I might get one from George for FMS. He does have the 8S in stock. I'm going to be using 4Max lipos, so this is 6S. I need another 2S to serial this up to give 8S, but about 3700 milliamps. Then I'm going to be using the Radiomaster TX16S Mark III. Why? This is an amazing radio in its third iteration now, and just for the money, if you buy one of these, you'll never have to buy another radio. Compared to other premium radios, and I don't know why I call them premium, because this is now a premium radio. It competes with the best radios out there, but it's like a fifth of the price, if less. Together with a Radiomaster ER8 receiver, although I could use less channels. I'm only going to be using 3-4 channels at most with this project. So that's it. This is going to be really quick to put together, and that's the whole point of this. High speed for not a lot of money, and using MaxKGo speed controller. Give me a little while and I'm going to put this together and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so all built, really quick to build, and 90mm fan, FMS 90mm 8S 1500 kV 4-pole motor from my friend George at 4Max. The problem with this is, if you come a little closer, Nick, is that this is all infill, and I think he recommends 3% infill, which there's nothing to bolt into. Luckily the fan did not fit flush, so I put some PETG shims in there that were glued on and bolted into those, but the fan and this is still epoxied onto the airframe. I thought that was the best thing to do because it's high power setup. Then I got the Max 12S 120 amp speed controller, that is opto. So they also sent me a Beck, which I'm running into a 3S 1000 lipo, and then for this flight I'm keeping it light, so there are two 4S 2600s. Calibrated the throttle. There's a little bit of software you use to set the kV and the poles on the motor from the speed controller, and that's done. So I'm hoping that's everything. So let's plug it all together and see if I can get it off the air, in the air on the dolly. I think it's heavy, a little heavy, and there's not a lot of wind today, so we're going with this option. I'm hoping the patch is level enough for it to not get knocked off. We'll see. Who's heading towards you, George?
I'll take cover.
Yeah. Oh God, that's pathetic. All that. What an anticlimax. Well, we'll try again. Never mind. A few more repairs, and what we think is, with the benefit of some Mr. Sheen, is it, that you bought with you?
Mr. Sheen?
Polish spray, which we've put on the bottom, we think it might get off the deck, just going along it by itself. So we'll try that. Nothing to lose. It goes in a straighter line though. Oh. Put my glasses on. 3, 2, 1. No. No.
The walk of shame.
Walk of shame, yes. So I do think maybe with something underneath, if it had a little wheel at the front, just to keep it on track. But I think it's got enough power to get off the deck just by itself without the trolley. Using a trolley was the mistake. So we'll be back with version 2 soon. Thanks. Thanks chaps for helping. Alright, so here we go. We're back for part 2, 3. I've lost count to be honest. But version 1 did not survive in lightweight PLA. So this is in, and this is before I knew about the different filament types, so don't blame me, but this is ABS and this weighs a ton. I think it weighs what, 4 kg all up
At least.
But I was saying to the guys, I have flown turbine jets that weigh 25 pounds and it's quite amazing aerodynamics. Something like that can float, so I'm hoping this does, but if it doesn't, I do have some ASA versions. The thing about ABS is it's very strong, but it doesn't like UV light, so this will degrade over time, but we're going to give it a go anyway, and if it doesn't, then we'll do part 3 within the same video, which could be about half an hour by the time I've finished. Again, it's going to go off the dolly. It's going to go off this small dolly rather than the big one, which was more suited to gliders, and Nick's lent me this to try out, and we think this might work better.
It's the one we use for the baby Mega Shark, which
Yes.
is about, I don't know, 600 grams.
Yep, and that works really well with that, doesn't it? So we're going to pin it and see if it gets in the air.
Send it.
Send it.
Sure. No way. No way.
You know what? It doesn't need any trim.
I'll tell you what, the luck is on our side today.
It's one of those days where things just work. Right. Are you ready?
No, I have lost you. Where are you?
Far left.
Far left, yep, I got you. Gotcha.
Half throttle.
God, this thing's hard to film.
This is going to be very hard to land.
Yeah, I'll worry about that in a minute.
Alright, this is flat out. You need to be zoomed out.
Yeah, I'll zoom out
middle
when
of
you've
the
got to the
strip.
corner.
Going for max speed, flat.
Oh, it's got a wicked noise when you power off.
Roll. I'm glad I've got those white stripes underneath. Oh my God. I wish it was any other colour than black.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an orange and a green one, haven't you?
Yeah, that's going to be better. Doubling back for the downhill. Stretching my visual range.
Yeah, if there's
Full
ever a
throttle, last
candidate for
pass.
FPV.
Last pass.
This one yet?
And hopefully my telemetry
Survives the landing?
will tell me at the end of the flight. Keep the wings moving. High. Switching to high rates for slow speed. Keeping the nose up, keeping the nose up.
No. That was smoother than the shark.
How fast? 162 miles an hour. It felt faster. That's not bad. And I wasn't really winding it up, but that proves, you know, you just have to keep going. But I think going to do it again, get a 90mm fan, but do it out of ASA, and it'll be lighter, still be as strong, be then okay on UV light. But I'm pretty impressed something that heavy that can fly that fast. Brilliant.
And land that slow.
And that slow on the landing. Actually, that wasn't too bad to land, but I kept the nose up and lots of drag, kept the fan on minimum throttle to add the drag as well. So to recap, that is a PTI Kyle Psy-Cho, available for printing, and you need a 90mm fan. This is an FMS 8-cell setup with a MaxKGo 120A 5 to 12S speed controller with a separate BEC from MaxKGo as well. So thanks for watching. Guidance from Radio Master as well, obviously using their GPS telemetry as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Nick on camera. Thanks to Nick for moral support. We'll be back soon on Essential RC. Goodbye.
Good. Yeah, if there's
Full
ever a
throttle, last
candidate
pass.
for FPV.
Last pass.
This one yet?